I mean, you have to start with small things. Don't go out and like when I started boxing, I got out of the Marine Corps and I was a assistant manager of this big college bar, and our head doorman, his name was Crazy Dave. Dave actually, but we named him Crazy Dave so you can get kind of an idea. He's like 6'3", 6'4", 240, 10% body fat, plays with 350 on the bench, and he's the South London kickboxing champion. And he boxed. I'm like, hey, I want to box. So the first day I get in, go to the gym with him. He goes, oh, come on to the gym. Get in the ring with him. Bell rings. I start throwing, can't lay a glove on him. Okay, he's just slipping. I'm chasing him around the ring, and he just pop through a jab, broke my nose, bleeding everywhere. I'm like, oh, I'm okay. Start chasing him, still can't lay a glove on him. Second shot, pop, throws a left hook, falling my mouthpiece out of my mouth, out of the ring, and across the gym. Some little kid picked it up and ran back and gave it to me, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, so we finished the second round. That was it. I couldn't shoot for 3 days. My nose is broken. I got two black eyes. And I come back to work that night, and the general manager's like, what happened to you? I go, oh, I was sparring with Dave. Well, you can't do that. I said, well, I'm going back tomorrow. What are you talking about? I'm going back tomorrow. I'm going to do this, right? I'm a little nutty. Okay. So the whole point of that is start smaller. Don't go in and get destroyed. Okay. So you can do little things that challenge you and start to stack small successes of challenge, right? Like do something hard, like it's like, the old saying, you can't go to the gym once a month and get fit. Okay. There's consistency involved with this too, but consistency in doing incredibly hard things every day is unreasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's unrealistic. So you got to kind of tether what it is and figure out what's going to work for you.
You should have asked that kid that picked up your mouth guard to punch you a few times first.
I deserved it, right? And he left all the hair and everything on the mouthpiece, so I had that.
How is success like board games?
How is it? Oh my goodness. Um, I don't play a lot of board games, but I used to play Monopoly. So if you do, I like Monopoly, and because this lasted forever, but it's accumulation, it's assets. It really teaches people about assets, which I think is critically important because most people don't know the difference between a liability and asset. And you have an opportunity to win by accumulating, which I think is awesome, right? Being strategic. There's a lot you learn from that. So from a board game, that board game in particular, and I remember as a kid, whenever my older brother would lose, he'd flip the board. He's one of those guys because he's losing. He flips the board so no one gets
Natural
it.
disaster.
That's right. So he's poof, you're done. You've been wiped out by a hurricane. Uh, but I really think those show, and I like those kind of board games where it's actually learning, not just playing. So, am I answering the question right?
It's well.
Okay.
So that's how success is like board games.